All companies listed on the Moscow Stock Exchange will be allowed to trade again as part of a partial reopening that started last week when 33 companies resumed trading for the first time in a month. The Bank of Russia says a ban will remain on short selling, though. That's when investors make profits from a fall in value. Stuart Smith has more from Moscow.
The cautious resumption of trading means that foreign traders are still unable to sell their shares. Last year, they made up around 50% of all trades on the Moscow exchange, so that's a major contributing factor to the stability that we're seeing. The central bank is trying to prevent another crash like we saw when Moscow began its so-called special operation at the end of February. And on top of that, the Russian Direct Investment Fund has put aside $9 billion in funds to invest in struggling companies. Now, on Saturday, a new round of sanctions came into force. They were imposed a month ago, and a month was given in terms of leeway for American businesses who may be making use of either Sberbank, VTB or Открытие Bank's services here in Russia, because these banks are now banned. Partially for Sberbank, there are some operations that can still go ahead, but for VTB and Открытие Bank, which also includes their subsidiaries, they will no longer be able to be used for international payments by American businesses. Now, economists at Russia's VEB Institute expect all of these sanctions to result in a 19% increase in inflation compared to last year by the end of this year, and also that people's incomes here in Russia will fall by around 12%. So a shock, to be sure, to the Russian economy. And in addition, today on Saturday, we heard that low-cost airline Pobeda, which has 41 planes, will stop flying 16 of them to try and save spare parts, because the airline manufacturers Boeing and Airbus are no longer exporting parts to Russia. So those planes will need to be cannibalized to keep the rest of the fleet running. The government is taking measures here to try and stave off the worst impacts. For example, today, Russian President Vladimir Putin signed a further government document with new measures. It reduces income taxes, capital gains taxes and interest taxes to try and provide some buffer room for struggling businesses and people. And on top of that, the finance minister is saying that the new rule that will force so-called unfriendly countries to pay for gas in Russian rubles will pay. He says that he believes they will step up despite their reservations and pay in rubles, and that will be something that he says will help stabilize the weakened Russian ruble. Stuart Smith, SABC News, Moscow.